Joining me now is travel journalist Gabe Saglier with the very difficult assignment of having to be in Ireland this afternoon. Gabe, thanks for taking some time to be with us.
It's a scary assignment, okay? I mean, this is one of the spookiest spots on the planet, after all.
Well, then I want you to talk a little bit about what makes it one of the spookiest places on the planet. What is Halloween's origins in Ireland?
Yeah, well, wouldn't you know that this is where the world's spookiest holiday would have started thousands of years ago? So I'm in Trim Castle behind me, world famous. County Meath is this general area. It's just about 45 minutes outside of Dublin. But about 10 miles in that direction is a place called the Hill of Ward. And through archaeological digs, they determined that this is where those very first Halloween ceremonies would have taken place 3,000 years ago, known as Samhain back then. But it all hinged on that October 31st date. It was the end of the calendar year back then. You know, harvest was over, winter was coming. And it was believed that on that day, October 31st, the veil between this world and the next was at its thinnest. And so the idea that ghosts could cross over and wreak havoc was certainly at its highest. So these legends have been around for thousands of years. We call it Halloween today. Samhain back then. Spooky no matter what you call it, of course.
Well, how does Ireland, Gabe, actually celebrate its ghostly and mysterious past? Are there any festivals or fun things happening around this time?
Well, listen, I think if you come to Ireland any time of year, festivals are just part of the experience, right? They're celebrating something, pretty much every week of the year somewhere in the country. This time of year, it is all about Halloween. And in this particular area, County Meath, Puka Festival would be sort of the Halloween festival of record. It started in 2019. This is his fifth year, bigger and better than ever. I was there for this Saturday night. It's sort of the opening procession, very spectacular, very Mardi Gras style, and thousands of people lining the streets, including a lot of Europeans and Americans who are now coming out here specifically to celebrate this holiday right here. Some of the stars of the show, the very spooky, legendary characters who would be part of these original Irish Halloween stories. That's Morrigan, the goddess of war. These guys are joining me on the rooftop as we speak. Far Derrig, representing fire. You've got Bowen back there, the goddess of the local river that runs through this area. But listen, this is Puka right here. Adorable, sure. But if you ran into Puka in the middle of the night in the forest, you had to really have your wits about you because she's quite mischievous, don't you know? And some dangerous things could happen. So again, Puka Festival in this part of the country. If you go up to Northern Ireland in the beautiful city of Derry, they do Halloween in a very big way. So much so that they consider Derry Halloween the biggest Halloween party in all of Europe. But don't take my word for it. Winifred the Witch has been celebrating there for what, 400 years, Winifred?
Well, yes, it might be around that. It could be an extra 100 on top of that, but we'll not talk about that, Gabe. Yes, I'm back, as always, at Derry Halloween, my absolute favorite Halloween destination on this planet. They have 3 nights of spooky spectacle, all within their city's ancient walls, which I'm standing on right now. Oh, and tomorrow night, when the veil is thin, they'll parade hundreds of delightful little children all through the city centre in beautiful little costumes. It's actually great for ghouls like us because everyone young and old gets all dressed up and we blend right in. Isn't that right, Vlad?
Yes, it's a great place to grab a bite.
And by the way, Winifred wasn't kidding because USA Today readers did call or vote Derry Halloween just a couple of years ago the #1 Halloween event in the world because of just how spectacular it is. And Winifred was standing on those very famous walls of Derry that you may have seen featured quite prominently in that show, Derry Girls. A lot of those scenes were shot as the girls ran up and down the walls of Derry. But yeah, it's all about Halloween this time of year. It's all about the festivals that, again, are starting now, slowly but surely, to get a lot of folks crossing the pond to celebrate Halloween in the place where it all began.
Well, Gabe, it might be too late for our viewers this year, but I think you got a lot of them making plans for their next Halloween. Thank you
Good.
so much.
That was the idea.
Yeah, well, I think you did your job. Thanks so much for joining us.